Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Katie if you're new here, and today I'm going to be doing a 0 to 6 week pregnancy update. So if this is your first time on my channel, I have 3 kids right now, and before this pregnancy I had an early miscarriage, and that was in December. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about that because I did address it in a previous video, and then I also have a video on my miscarriage experience. So if you're going through something like that or need some support, I will link those videos down below. Let's start from the beginning. So today I am 7 weeks pregnant. So I'm going to be talking to you about my earliest symptoms, how I knew I was pregnant, and just giving you an update on the weeks up until this point. Since I did have a miscarriage previous to this pregnancy, I did not have a period before getting pregnant again, and that did make it a little bit challenging to figure out an exact date. But just for some reference, I took a pregnancy test on February the 6th and it was positive right away. I had an ultrasound around February the 15th and that showed that I was 5.5-ish weeks pregnant. I will just go from kind of around the first week of February as far as explaining to you what my symptoms were and the beginning feelings of this pregnancy. So before I took that pregnancy test on February the 6th, I was feeling very tired, very sick to my stomach and hungry. And I would say out of all of the symptoms, the very first one that began appearing was fatigue. And this is kind of common for me in all of my pregnancies. I feel like I got hit by a truck. I am just wiped out, and nothing can explain this level of tiredness. Like nothing. It just feels either like you're coming down with mono, which I've never had mono, so I guess I don't really know that, but it feels like you just want to lay in bed. And I am kind of a go person, so for me to feel that way and just feel like, man, it would be nice to just sit in a chair all day and not do anything is kind of weird, and I usually know that something is up. But I kind of ignored that because I thought, well, I've just had a miscarriage, I haven't even had a period yet, there's no way I'm pregnant, so I kind of let that go. And the next thing that I started experiencing was I was hungry. I'm talking I want all of the food ASAP, and not little snacky foods. I wanted sandwiches and I wanted hearty foods, anything that was that sounds like it would make you satiated. That's what I wanted, and nothing would get in the way of me getting these foods. On any kind of break that I had at work, I was buying food. I was just hungry. And it wasn't until around week 5, and I'm guessing this is the beginning of week 5, basing this off of my ultrasound, the nausea started hitting. Also, if you can hear anything, my little boy is playing right now and he is kind of loud, so just ignore that. So I started just feeling queasy, sick to my stomach. It kind of feels like I just ate something wrong or something didn't settle well in my stomach, and just freaking awful to be honest with you. And I haven't puked at all. For some reason in my pregnancies, I don't think I've ever thrown up with any of my pregnancies, but with my very first pregnancy, which I had my twin girls, I felt this exact same way. And then with my pregnancy with River, I felt amazing. And River is my little boy. So I don't know what the deal is, but I know that nauseousness and all of that are very classic pregnancy symptoms. So once I started experiencing a few of these feelings for a few days, I told myself, if this doesn't get better and I don't start my period, I'm taking a pregnancy test. So I took the pregnancy test on February the 6th. It was positive right away. And at that point, I called my doctor, and she recommended that I have lab work done just to see what my HCG levels were, since I had just experienced a recent miscarriage. So I had those drawn on February the 9th, and they were 4,500-ish, and then I had them drawn 2 days later. They were around close to 10,000, so they were doubling, which is a really good sign. she had me come in for an ultrasound 1 week after that. So I believe it was February the 15th that I went for my ultrasound. And on that ultrasound, she told me that once your HCG levels reach around 12,000, then typically we can see a heartbeat. So I was thinking that I would be able to see a heartbeat and just kind of have like some type of a confirmation of pregnancy, ease my mind just a little bit. I went into that appointment, I was so excited, and all that I could see on the screen was a yolk sac, the gestational sac, and the very beginning of a fetal pole. And the ultrasound tech was pretty certain that she did see a little bit of a flicker, so a flicker of a heartbeat, but not enough to trace it, not enough to actually get to detect a heart rate rhythm. And I was so disappointed. I cried after that ultrasound. I thought that I was having a miscarriage again, and it was just awful, to be honest with you. I just felt like so defeated and so frustrated. Like, how is this even possible? My HCG levels are good. How am I going to have 2 miscarriages right in a row? The miscarriage that I had in December was my 3rd miscarriage already that I've had, never in a row, but still. 3 miscarriages is a lot to go through, and I was just basically heartbroken. So they scheduled me to have another ultrasound 2 weeks from that point. And I just went to that ultrasound today, and I will be sharing more about that in my next video, but the results were very good and the baby has a heartbeat. So anyway, moving on, I guess my point is, if you can wait a little bit longer to have your first ultrasound so that you don't get your hopes up and be really stressed out for 2 weeks like I was, I would definitely recommend that. It was an awful wait, a really hard 2 weeks, and I thought the entire time that something was going on. In the 2 weeks from that ultrasound to having my next ultrasound, I started having so many more pregnancy symptoms and and the symptoms that I was having before started getting stronger. So my nausea kicked up like to 10. It was terrible. It still is. I just feel so sick to my stomach at all times of the day. And honestly, it's a little bit depressing, and I don't enjoy that. Not one bit. But if this baby is healthy, obviously it's all going to be worth it. But I'm just being honest, the nausea it's really not any fun. And I know some moms have it way worse than what I have it, and it's just hard. It's especially hard if you are already a mom and working and just like trying to manage all of that, and I was trying not to tell anyone that I was pregnant, so it was hard to act like my normal self when I was feeling like a pile of poop. So on top of that, my boobs started getting really like sensitive, and this is going to be totally TMI, like as if the rest of this video already wasn't. But I was at work one day, and I was I'm a nurse, and I was standing at my med cart like getting my meds ready, and I started feeling the weirdest sensation in one of my nipples. Like it just started like tingling and feeling like it hurt, and I was like, what is going on? Like what is this? But I mean, since I've already had kids, it feels so much like when you're starting to get your milk supply in. I mean, obviously I'm not getting my milk in yet, but it's just your breasts changing during pregnancy. So I started experiencing some of that. I also have been having some extreme bloating, and it really is so extreme. Like I can push my belly out and it looks like I'm like 7 months pregnant, and I'm today 7 weeks pregnant. So it's just bad. The bloating is seriously extreme. And also my hunger is still there, and I still want all of the food, and I want even more of the food if possible, and I just never feel satisfied, but at the same time I feel queasy, and it's the weirdest thing to feel both at one time, and it's hard to explain. I do feel like what helps with the queasiness is to make sure that I have something in my stomach, because it's way worse in the morning, or way worse if I haven't eaten for a long period of time. On top of that, I have been so out of breath, and typically I'm a runner. I like to work out, I like to be active, but if I'm walking or doing anything like moderately strenuous, I feel like I can barely breathe. Even talking to you guys right now, I feel like it would be really beneficial if I could just stop and like, and I don't know know why that is. I mean, the baby is literally tiny right now, like very, very small, and there's no way that this baby's pushing on my lungs, but I feel like it is. And it's really, really strange, but I guess pregnancy is kind of strange. So I think that that is all for my early pregnancy symptoms, how I knew I was pregnant, and just my update up until this point. I am going to make a 7-week pregnancy update because I just have so much that I want to share with you guys. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be doing every single week updates, because if I don't have anything new to share, or if the weeks seem just like the week before, I'm not sure if anyone would be interested in hearing me say the exact same thing that I said the week before. But I will definitely be doing them frequently and just keeping you guys up to date on how the pregnancy is going and any new symptoms that I am experiencing. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If any of you guys are pregnant or trying to get pregnant, definitely let me know in the comments below so we can share this journey together. And I think that that is all. So thank you again for watching. Definitely don't forget to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. I will talk to you in my next one. Bye guys.